I am pummeling away. I mean, I often mention it in my talk. I'm trying to magnify. I'm trying to make more clear that adolescence is a different thing from adulthood or childhood, and there's so much that goes on. And I think we tend to assume that they are, because they are more grown up and this, that, and the other, that they're adults, and they're not. And I think we miss a cue. I think we just minimize. And I may be very unfair to psychoanalysts, to adult psychoanalysts, but I worry that we're expecting adolescents to behave in a mature adult way, and they ain't there yet. They're not. We have to enjoy their changeability, their unpredictability, their unknowingness, their recalcitrance, if you like, at times. I think we need to accept it, to enjoy it, not to think this is an offense to psychoanalysis. You know, psychoanalysis, I mean, we all have our different views of what we think is psychoanalysis. I bill myself as a psychoanalyst. I'm not a member of the Institute of Psychoanalysis. I've trained with Anna Freud for 4 years. That's good enough for me. And but I doesn't mean to say that I expect adolescents to behave accordingly in the way in which I've suggested. And maybe I'm making too much of a point of it, but I do worry that we assume. You know, so often adolescents are dismissed. They're moving around. They're changeable. You know, you can't expect an adolescent to be committed. You know, they just move around. That's the way it is. That's the way with adolescents. So for me, that's a cop out. That means that we haven't, as adults, worked respectfully enough to the adolescents. And it's not good enough to say adolescents are just this, that, and the other. We have to look at ourselves. And I mean, I happen to be a great fan of Ferenczi, who was one of Freud's very close friends. One of the great things about Ferenczi was that he would always question himself as a therapist. If something wasn't going right, he would say it's something I'm not doing, which I found was very refreshing. So often people say, oh, it's the resistance. These people over there, you know, they're just not analyzable. And so that's really where my passion becomes, really.